chairperson for the year. Does anyone have any nominations?
I'll nominate Jan13 for the chair.
I'll second that.
I'll accept that.
I will put that to a vote.
You could ask for any other nomination.
Are there any other nominations?
I think I'd ask one more time, third and final close.
Third and final time. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Please vote.
Come up.
Trump, is your last name Trump?
Dear Trump. No.
Okay, that vote is unanimous. Darren Lamont, our chairperson, can assume the chair and conduct the rest of the meeting. Thanks, Darren. To put your chair
Yeah. Slap that up there.
right up there. So you have to do vice chair. Under, I got that under here too.
With that being, we'll take nominations for vice chair. Anyone like to put forward a nomination for someone for vice chair? Okay. Mark, Brenda motioned that. Mark Guest second that. Any other nominations for vice chair? Third and final time. Is there any nominations for vice chair? None being, would put a vote forward for that, please? That motion's carried unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Preston. Welcome aboard. With that being, I'd like to welcome everyone in the audience to the Planning Advisory Committee for Tuesday, January 13th, Town of Quispamsis. With that being, we'll move on to item 2, the approval agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Brenda?
I'll make that motion.
Seconder, Brent?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any amendments to the agenda? None being, can we have a vote, please? That motion's carried unanimously. With that being, we'll move on to item 2, disclosures of interest. Any disclosures of interest? None being. That'll allow us to move on to item 4, approval of previous minutes. Is there any amendments to the minutes? None being. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Mr. Hatfield, can I have a seconder on that? Mr. Guest?
I'll second that.
Thank you. No further debate on the approval of the previous minutes. Can we have a vote on that, please? That motion is carried unanimously. Now we'll move on to item 5, business arising from minutes. Can I have a motion to receive and file? Mr. Preston.
So moved.
Can I have a seconder on that? Mr. Hatfield, second that. With that being, we'll have a vote, please. That motion is carried unanimously. Item 6, unfinished business. None being, we'll move on to item 7, new business. Item 7A, 150 Queensberry Drive. Could the applicant please come up and state their name for the record, please?
Grace Andrews?
Grace Andrews?
Yes.
Grace, we're gonna have, Jennifer's gonna introduce that item for us, so please proceed, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and just a little correction, that is 151 Queensbury Drive. Yes, it's a similar application we reviewed to one in the previous PAC meeting where we have a person who'd like to run a nail studio out of a home. The intention is just for the one technician for Grace's ethereal enhancements for private one-on-one nail enhancement services. The applicant has indicated the hours of operation have not yet been solidified, and that will be dependent upon the needs of the client. But we are looking at approximately, 2 or 3 clients at the beginning, and maybe expanding to a couple of clients Monday to Friday. So not full-time or an overabundance of people visiting the residence. The floor area that's dedicated to the salon service is 16.9 square meters, which is well under the 25% that's permitted by the bylaw. And parking requirements would require 2 additional parking stalls in the driveway, and the driveway is available to accommodate 4 vehicles without issue, so 1.5 for the residents, and then the rest could be used for the business. But only having 1 customer visiting at a time, it's expected that only 1 additional parking space will actually be used. Signage would have to be compliant with bylaw 36, section 10, which allows for, I believe, 0.4 square meters and would require an additional development permit. I'll get there. And the business will be secondary to the main use of the residential use. And I'm available to answer any questions the committee might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. You would receive the same package we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to any comments from members of PAC or members of the public?
I think there was just one thing about a sign, and I need a temporary sign, but it can just be an open sign, and it can be put on like a window, and it can be taken off, on and off.
Jennifer?
It would have to comply with the zoning not the zoning bylaw, the sign bylaw 036. So you could submit an application for the sign, the size, and just a copy of what that would be, and we can look and see if it would meet those requirements.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
I was going to, how hard are you locked into the name of your business? Because I saw your sign, I would not know what it is.
Not fully locked in on the name, but for the sign, I'm just gonna do like an open sign, because they said I didn't need to have like a big name or anything, so the name is undetermined.
Or just something with nails in it, like
Yes.
Grace's Nails and
Yeah.
Handmade? That would be perfect, because I know a couple of places that use weird names that didn't have anything to do with their business, and they don't exist anymore. So just word advice, make sure people know his nails.
Perfect.
Because I walk by there all the time, and I mean, that's some handy and all that things like, so I wish you good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Any other questions for the applicant from members of PAC? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions, please? Mr. Preston.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion. Planning Advisory Committee approve a discretionary use of home occupation grades ethereal enhancements under Section 8A 1BI and Section 6K from both zoning bylaws 038 at 151 Queensbury Drive, PID 302-96834, subject to the following terms and conditions. 1, the home occupation should be secondary to the main residential use of the dwelling. 2, the floor area dedicated to the business shall not exceed the lesser of 32 square meters or 25% of the total floor area of the dwelling unit. 3, no more than one person is engaged therein in addition to any permanent resident of the dwelling unit in which is located. Any increase to the number of employees participating in the home occupation will require additional approvals from PAC. 4, it is confined to the dwelling unit and no part of it is located in an accessory building or structure. 5, no change except for a sign pursuant to the town sign bylaw number 36 is made in the outside appearance of the building, which would indicate that a home occupation is being conducted therein. Any increase to a sign size beyond 0.4 square meters must be further approved by the PAC. 6, no goods or services other than those directly pertaining to the home occupation are supplied or sold therein or therefrom. 7, no equipment or material used therein is stored other than in the dwelling unit. 8, no more than one commercial vehicle is used in connection therewith and not more than one vehicle of any kind bearing a sign in connection therewith is parked on the lot. 9, there's to be no parking on the street or within town property. And 10, PAC approval is to operate the business is non-transferable. The approval is solely for the benefit of the property owner named herein. In the event the business is discontinued or the lands are transferred, the said approval shall be terminated.
Thank you, Brent. Can I have a second on that? Mr. Hatfield?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further debate in that motion? None being, can we have a vote on that, please?
Mr. Chair, sorry to interrupt, I cannot submit a vote.
Okay, so you're in favor?
I am in favor.
Okay.
Thank you.
That motion's carried unanimously. In 5 to 7 business days, you'll have your letter in the mail with your approval. Please work with the town to have all necessary paperwork and documentation work and reach out to the town for that sign bylaw so you can understand that. So congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. With that being, we're going to move on to the next item, 7B, 120 Millennium Drive. Could the applicant please come up to the podium and state their name for the record, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Nagy Abdu.
Okay, we're going to get Jennifer to introduce that item. So go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to the committee members. Before you is a request to permit liquor sales at 120 Millennium Drive, which has already been approved for alcohol sales, but under a different name and ownership. Part of the notice of decision from the original approval was that if the name changed or the business was sold, that the approval was null and void. So before you is a request to allow for the sale of alcohol at 120 Millennium Drive, which used to be Stylish You Hair Salon and Medi Spa, and it's now Inspired Salon and Medi Spa. So this, the requirement, this is triggered this review by the Planning Advisory Committee. As the PAC are aware, the serving of alcohol is governed under the provincial government. So that allows you to have confidence in knowing that there will be terms and conditions also applied from the license that's provided. The intent is, for the applicant is to apply to the province for a special facilities license to allow for beer and wine sales while customers are attending the salon and Medi Spa. Sometimes it's groups of people that go as part of bridal showers, etc., and they like to be able to provide that service. The the recommendation in the report is that the hours of alcohol serving be tied directly to the hours of operation of the business, and that alcohol is to be consumed, not to be consumed outside the confines of the unit. I'm available to answer any questions the committee might have about this application. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. You would have received the same package we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or members of the public asking some questions?
No, pretty straightforward.
Okay, thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? None being, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against the terms and conditions? Mr., who's next in the queue? There we go. Brent, you next? No? Mark, go up.
I put a motion forward that the PAC approves discretionary use of the liquor license for Inspired Salon and Meta Spa at 120 Millennium Drive, PID 302-46508, in accordance with the municipal bylaw plan 054, section 7.2.1, and through its powers granted through section 3.d of the zoning bylaw 038, subject to the following terms and conditions. Number one, it is recognized as a compatible use with the existing use of salon and spa. Number two, it is and shall remain inconditional to main use of the property. 3 hours of operation for alcohol must align with the hours of Inspired Salon and Meta Spa. Number four, alcohol is not to be served or consumed outside the confines of the unit dedicated to the business. And number five, the owner-operator must provide the town with a copy of the special facilities license or liquor license permits from the province of New Brunswick for the town records.
Thank you, Mr. Hatfield. Mr. Guest?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any further debate on that motion? None. Oh, Jennifer?
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I neglected to advise the committee that since this was triggered by just a name change and actual use is not going to be any different than what is occurring there today, notification was not provided. So if the committee is fine with that, we can proceed. However, if they do feel that notification should have been provided, we can certainly pause this and provide that notification and revisit this at another date.
Thank you. Any comments from PAC? Mark?
I'm fine with my motion still.
Brent?
My question to staff is, under the previous ownership, was there any complaints to the town?
Jennifer?
Sorry, Mr. Chair. We received no complaints or concerns. That was one thing that we did look into, just to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you. With that being, no addition to the motion, we're as is. Can we have a vote on that, please? That motion's carried unanimously, so please work with the town to have all necessary documentation and paperwork in place, and get a copy of that liquor license, provide that to the town, and do your application accordingly, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I assume I don't have to stay till.
No, you don't have to stay till the end. No one has to stay till the end. Sorry about that. We should have let you guys know that. With that being, we're gonna move on to item 7C, MPSF Developments. Could the applicant please come up to the podium, state your name for the, Jennifer?
Oh, I'm just preparing.
The applicant, please come up and state your name for the record, please.
Hello, Stephen Forgeron.
Mr. Forgeron, yeah, we're gonna have Jennifer introduce that item. Jennifer, you wanna proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to the committee members. This was already approved in, I believe, 2023. However, since that time, the tentative plan approval has expired, and therefore we do need to revisit. What's before you is a subdivision that will create a lot, 25-8, being 6.82 hectares in size and being rural, zoned as rural. It also includes an extension of an existing public street, which is Alpenglow, and 2 future streets being shown on the plan as Future Street A and Future Street B. And there's an alignment to make sure that the 2 future streets are aligning. The Alpenglow Drive extension, Alpenglow itself received a variance from the PAC to allow the width to be 18 meters. The same is being requested through this application so that they match. As lot 25-8 is more than 2 hectares and does front a public street, and the width of it is more than 150 meters, it is exempt from the subdivision bylaw requirement for LPP purposes. So this lot 25-08 is being created for future development. It could result in more lots being developed for residential development, or it could be purchased by a sole owner and developed as an estate. It's sort of up in the air at this time. However, the future streets are important for future development in the area. I would like to note that there's LPP is along the back of properties that provides trail access to the Millennium, but also into the Lambs Ferry Road that used to be, well, it's still a public access, but it's overgrown as I understand. So it provides a trail into another area that the town is developing into the trail network. Seeing if there, and the other thing I wanted to note that's on the subdivision plan is a no cut and no excavation buffer zone that's been provided at the side property lines. These areas are to be protected through deed covenants, which are enforceable by the developer and future property owners. On-site sewage disposal would be required. Potable water would be specific to lot 2508 would be through a drilled well. Stormwater management will be addressed as in the future based on specific development applications, and land for public purpose, we've already spoken to that. So I'm available to answer questions the committee might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. You would have received the same package we did in mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to questions from PAC, members of the public? Okay. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? None being, is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions? Mr. Guest.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the motion that the PAC support the development officer in the approval of MPSF Inc. subdivision phase 3, subject to the following conditions approval. Number 1, support of the overall street layout as proposed and any recommendations as part of the notice of decision. And 2, the granting of a 2-meter street right-of-way width variance for a local street design.
Thank you, Mr. Guest. Can I have a second on that? Mr. Hatfield?
Second.
Thank you. Any debate on that motion? None being, can we have a vote, please? That motion's carried unanimously. In 5 to 7 business days, have a letter in the mail, so please work with the town to have all necessary documentation and paperwork in place. And best of luck.
PAC Council.
You're welcome. Thank you. With that being, we're gonna move on to item 7D, zoning bylaw 038 amendments. And we're gonna have, Jennifer's gonna lead that for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And through you to the committee members, council is requesting comments of the PAC concerning zoning bylaw number 038 amendment number 54. And that's an amendment regarding fee for the planning and development services fee schedule and fee schedule reference adjustments. So throughout the bylaw, the zoning bylaw, there are several references being made to Schedule A, which is identified primarily as being the map of the town, the future map in the bylaw. There's also references about Schedule A through the fee schedule and other items that are through the bylaw. So we're just trying to clean that up so that Schedule A means the zoning bylaw future map, and other schedules will be assigned numbers in succession, or letters in succession. So that's one part of this, and the other part is actually to adjust some of the fees that are being charged through the development permits services. So there is an example in the staff memo of the changes that are being proposed. They've been highlighted. So basically, we're taking away anything out of the building bylaw that is now managed under development permits through the zoning bylaw. And so we're taking that and moving it over into the fee schedule for the zoning bylaw. So the changes to the fees are minimal at best. For example, a zoning confirmation letter was originally $125 for a non-residential property. The new fee is suggested at $140. A zoning confirmation letter for residential properties currently is $75, and it's requested to change to $90. So there's some very small changes: site preparation for infrastructure work, land development. So it's been teased out to be up to 3 lots, and then anything over and above 3 lots with additional fees. So I'll just allow you to peruse through that, and I can answer any questions that the committee might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. So really, it's only two increases, eh? Looking at that? I guess we don't have any reference to only 2 reference the old fee versus new fee. Is that correct? Sorry, Jennifer.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that seems to be correct. The biggest change that I can see in this is for the zoning confirmation letters from.
Yeah.
And I think it's what, a $15 increase. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any members of PAC have any questions for town staff on this zoning bylaw amendment? Brent?
My question is, with regards to fees, our fees seem to be low on some of our, like, we get a subdivision plan in here and it's like $100 or whatever it is, I guess. Is that gonna be reviewed this year as part of this process, Jennifer, or?
The subdivision would fall under through you, Mr. Chair, to the committee member. The subdivision bylaw would actually speak, I think, to the fees regarding the subdivision. But however, as an example, the committee may be aware that we are undergoing a review of the zoning bylaw currently, although it's not expected to be in place for another few months. We think this is really important to go through at this time. So I think whatever is decided through this process is what is going to be going into that newer zoning bylaw. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Just one other question.
Okay, go ahead, Brent, sorry.
Sorry, my other question, our fees, I guess, are fees comparable to Rossay and Hampton and?
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the committee member, I expect that they're similar, but I haven't really sat down with a fine tooth comb to go through myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any other questions from PAC staff to town? Brenda?
Just quickly, if I want to do something to get a building permit or development to permit, like a fence and all of that, is that still a building permit?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are certain items that are now only under development permit, no longer building permit, and fence would be one of those. Fence, swimming pool, unattached decks,
All are development.
things that no longer fall under the Building Code Administration Act are being teased out and brought in underneath the development permits.
Do you think that's going to confuse regular people like myself? You want to put a shed in your backyard?
The application process is the same, and we take care of that because every application needs a development permit first to ensure that what you're applying to do meets the criteria of the zoning bylaw. And then if it requires a building permit, it's furthered on to the building inspection department for their review, and a building permit will be released. So it's teased, you as a citizen would still just apply for one thing, and then we sort of in the background take care of the rest.
Does it slow things down at all?
No, not from my perspective.
Okay. Like the public's perspective?
I think we've actually increased our ability because we've adopted a new system, our online permit portal. I think our permits are going out the door much quicker now than they were when I first came on board with the town.
Are there any place that we're going to put fees in for people who don't bother getting a built permit of any sort?
That could certainly
Right
be.
now, you just double it, and that's just a slap in the wrist.
That could certainly be a comment that the PAC may wish to provide through this process.
Yeah, I do think that has to be something there, that, double the permit applications, not a deterrent. They're just building and asking for permission.
And we would have to go and look and make sure through our legal counsel that we're not hemmed in by any provincial regulation in terms of fines and whatnot, but it's something that could certainly be looked into.
Thank you. Any other questions for members of town? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions in supporting of this going to council? Kendall?
I recommend the Planning Advisory Committee provide support to council in approving zoning bylaw 038, amendment number 54, to revise the fee schedule for planning and development services, and to clarify the fee schedule reference through the zoning bylaw number 038.
Thank you, Kendall. Can I have a seconder on that, please?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Brent. With that being, can we have a vote on that, please? That motion's carried unanimously for PAC staff to present that to council. So thank you. Good luck. With that being, I think items 8, information items and discussion items. Can I have a motion to receive and file, please? Brenda?
I'll move that.
Thank you. Can we have a seconder on that, please? Second. Mark, second. Thank you. That being, can we have a vote on that, please? That motion's carried unanimously, and I see just looking at the numbers there, I think we're up from 1 from last year, or no, it's 5, sorry. And a lot of them seem to be subdivisions, whether they're renewals of older subdivisions. I'm not sure subdivisions plans that came back for renewal because they were expired, but so anyway, that's good. With that being, we'll move on to item 9. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Brent, can I have a seconder on that? Brenda?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned for Tuesday, January 13th. Thank you very much, everyone.